Hi, Phoenix. How are you today? Phoenix is always the first. Unfortunately, I couldn't do Friday's AMA last week. I had a very poor internet connection. So guys, I'm sorry. So I understood that probably we should work more like internet connectivity rather than doing some crazy stuff that we are doing. So because it's a real problem. So, but now I'm back in Dubai, as you can see probably. I don't know, in the same office of my friends. And yes, guys, we are back to normal. We are doing our Fridays AMA again, and nothing can stop us. So what happened this week? The most important thing, finally, we deployed bridges to the testnet. The other bridging direction from waves to units. And basically, it's over, guys. So next week, probably, we'll add those bridges to the questing platform so you could help us test. And that's it. There is only DAO left in terms of development, but it's not going to take us long. So everything goes according to plan. Launch is scheduled for mid-September. I guess, like, definitely it's September. We're not gonna delay this. Of course, in terms of marketing, we are not done, and KOL campaign is actually hasn't even properly started yet. I'll be honest with you guys, but we still have time. And I won't, like, because I promised a couple times that it would launch next week, so I won't tell you anything this time. It will just launch. A lot of activities, like first partnerships will be announced soon, in terms of like projects that want to launch on units or integrate units. So there is like a partnership today that I actually made just now. Some other partnerships are coming. What else? Turkey event was great. We met a lot of interesting people here, marketing companies. We actually started working with some local guys in Turkey and also some companies, marketing companies, that they would help us with other things. For example, we're going to have a Korean event. As you probably know, there is like Seoul Blockchain Week at the beginning of September, and we're going to have some event there, some meetup. So if you're in Korea, you are invited. No like public announcement yet. So this is the announcement actually. There's gonna be a Waves meetup in Korea, and the marketing company that we met in Istanbul is gonna help us do that. So yeah, and I'm gonna go to Korea in a week, basically. So see you there, guys. What else? Yeah, I don't know, actually. I think you can ask me some more questions later, and there's going to be some nice things happening in Waves ecosystem next week. Maybe I can cover those things at the end of the EMA so you don't tune out, so you stay tuned to hear what's going to happen next week. And Zili campaign is going strong. If you participate, there is a new task there, and you'll understand what I mean. Since we launched bridges this week, the Zili word is bridges. So you have to complete the task with this word on Zili, and if you do it first, you're gonna get more points, and you're gonna be higher in the rankings, and you're gonna get more power tokens and Union Zero tokens eventually. So the Zili word is bridges. Marketing team asked me to reveal it, and I decided to do that at the beginning of the AMA. Since I mentioned bridges, we have launched bridges on the testnet. So the word, the Zili word is bridges. Phoenix, I'm good. Vladimir is here. Vladimir, yes, Puzzle. Vladimir from Puzzle is doing a lot of interesting things. Check them out. Liquidity Locker is amazing, by the way. And a lot of other things. Rome stablecoin is gonna go high, I would say, Rome stablecoin is gonna be great. Have you crossed paths with the Bloom team? Actually, no, I saw some other guys, former Waves guys in Istanbul, but no Bloom people. Actually, a lot of people from Waves are in Bloom now. I wish them all the best. When will it be possible to trade fiat on WX? There's going to be some nice activity on WX starting from next week. You'll see what I mean. And we want to bring WX back to life. Including fiat, it's going to take some time probably, but it's starting. So we can't phase it out. This will never happen. And the other option is to develop it and make it great. I never say again, because nothing has ever been great yet. Everything should become great. Stable coins are securities and Iraq USD, and there are people who are short hundreds of K and none of them have seen their money back. Exactly, man. That's why we're launching new projects to channel the new liquidity to resolving those issues. And I have not rocked USDN. This is something that you would have known if you had participated in the previous AMAs. L2MP to the moon soon, absolutely. Question in Russian, how is unit token will be supported in the future? Like, what will make it valuable, as far as I understood the question. The thing is, Unit Zero token is the governance token of the whole ecosystem. So all new launches on units will happen through Unit Zero token, through the DAO basically. So you would need to stake Unit Zero in the DAO and vote for the new launches. And new projects will basically reward the validators and the DAO participants with their tokens, which will create like a chain of incentives, right? So if you hold Unit Zero, you get further tokens, and this is the utility. So we create some kind of like decentralized venture fund, right? Where anybody can participate and benefit from all the launches. So this is the utility. This is the idea here. Besides more direct utility of Unit Zero as a fee token of Unit Zero chain. Are we waiting for the main Russian? Yes, we should do that. We actually, the thing is, yes, we can start this KOL campaign. Now I have seen the lists of all KOLs, CIS region, Turkey, Korea, international, and there is some like technical integration that the marketing company we work with is doing. They have some special setup. So I think CIS Russian-speaking campaign should start when? Next week. So I think it's going to be a good opportunity to actually do some Russian outreach, Russian-speaking outreach. Any updates from NSBT after units launches? I think index product will be launched on the Unit Zero chain. This is my vision for the future of this product. Bro, you drain the smart contract law. It's all on chain. You should have participated in previous AMAs, guy, because it's like because ethics has been explained hundreds of times, literally hundreds of times. So, what is the secret word? Bridges. By the way, we still cannot see the votes on Virus. I will ask, but I think that they were cached in Google. So if you really need it, you can just make a Google search, and I think they're there. So, did you connect with the Russian government or Ukraine? No, I'm not connected to any governments, and I will never be. What if you let all the extent of the market and due to the low price, you can buy them out faster? We have discussed this. Actually, and I wouldn't do that. I'm not really against it, but just I don't know how it's gonna help, because the goal is not to buy it back. Of course, the goal is to buy it back eventually, but it's a higher price, because if we buy it back at like 1 cent, people will still lose money, and the goal is to not allow it, so the goal is the opposite actually. So it may take a lot of time objectively, but eventually users should be made whole. And if we buy it back at 1 cent, obviously they will not be. So if you really want it, somebody should come up with this governance proposal. And as far as I understand, this for when virus stopped working, we can bring it back, of course, and probably we can vote. I wouldn't be like strictly against it. My point here is it would not make a lot of difference, but if you really want it, it can be done. But you have to vote for this, so because I can like actually I can do that, I can make that decision myself, but I somehow don't think it's too beneficial, so in this case, I think the community should vote, guys. If you really want it, you should vote for it, and in this case, it will be implemented. Bridges. Many of us are afraid to trust waves. I tell them to trust, however, they're increasingly few. I believe in Sasha. Thank you very much. And as I said millions of times, guys, and I will repeat again, blockchain technology was supposed to be trustless. I don't ask you to trust me. No, I don't need your trust. I want you to trust the technology. If you don't understand what you deal with in terms of like technology, probably you shouldn't deal with it at all. You need to understand what you interact with. So you need to understand, you need to have some idea about the technology you're dealing with. And in this case, trust is not required because you understand, And my goal is to explain to you what we do, not to somehow elicit trust. No, this is not what I want. I want you to understand what we do. This is it. Google Cash doesn't exist anymore. Man, I don't know how to help you in this case. Yes. Can we resume vesting at a higher exchange price? So you mean to wait until the price is 20 cents? I'm not sure that people are gonna like it, because a lot of people claim Uh, it's a tricky proposal. Are you former KGB? I am former Illuminati. Uh, Galka is here, so we're all good. Will you conduct an advertising campaign for the CIS countries? Absolutely. As I mentioned, we have KOL campaign scheduled. I know the KOLs, influencers, bloggers we're gonna work with in CIS, so it's coming. Come to Venezuela, man. I wish. Very interesting what's happening there, guys. I hope you're doing well. A lot of crazy news about Venezuela, but I hope you're gonna be okay eventually. Until when are you going to allow fake accounts to continue adding to Zili? I have to ask the marketing team. I didn't know it was a problem. Let me find out. Fatih, what brings Wave to $60 from $8? Uh, some, I think they were some US funds, some American funds, and maybe Korean market makers who pushed the price up and then actually shorted heavily. When will the unit tokens be added to the exchanges? When it's launched. So as soon as Unit Zero token has been launched, it will be listed on exchanges. Um, if you want us not to trust you, I'm not saying don't trust me, and I don't say trust me. What I'm saying is you should not trust anyone, like just don't trust anyone. Only your parents, man. Maybe your wife, but not always. Like not always. Most of the time, you have to trust her as well, but not all the time. And maybe your parents, 99% of the time. But no, don't trust anyone else. Anyone else. Are you planning to visit Latin countries? Yeah, it would be awesome, actually. I would go anywhere, In Latin America, I've never been. The most interesting country for me, I don't know, they're all very interesting. Venezuela is interesting. Chile is amazing. I saw some YouTube video recently. Like, it's impressive. Pretty developed country. Brazil, anything. No, I have one more question. Will there be any proposal to increase the repurchase of XTM? Out of no. If 20 features, as long as we have not implemented the feature 23, it will not happen, obviously, because 1/3 goes to the buyback, 1/3 goes to miners, 1/3 goes to the DAO. After event's launch, that may change if it's very successful. And eventually, I think we should turn off waste inflation completely. But until then, I think if feature 23 is accepted eventually in a good market situation after unit's launch, it can be very good for the ecosystem because we can get the DAO funded for years to come. So we get that money into the DAO, we buy back XTM, and Waves is at a higher price. If Waves should go up, if unit launch is successful. So we will have more funds to buy back XTM, we will have more funds for the DAO, and APY for the miners will be very high, and there is no risk of dumping Waves because of increased inflation, because this is going to be done in a good situation, So I mean, if unit's launch is successful, situation is going to be good. And in this case, there's not going to be any inflation fears that basically prevent the community from voting for this beautiful feature 23. So let's wait. For now, I think it's not required to vote for it because I think we have managed to do without for now. And in the future, the meaning of this feature might be exactly the opposite of what it was when I first suggested that we should do that. You know, in a better situation, this will be a way to take the ecosystem to the moon. Not to save it, not to rescue it, but to boost it, to give it a huge push forward. Colombia is amazing. All Latin American countries should be amazing, guys. Yes. I would love to go there. A bit far, but still, I will go. Will the popular hamster dog tone? I think so. I think so. You should ask Pepe team what they're doing in terms of bridging. Yes, I think we will have some alternative bridging soon. It will be announced. I'm not announcing it, but I'm working with another big bridging project on Waves bridges. More bridges to Waves. Haiti. Exactly, man. This is the country I wanted to go, of course. Yes. I was in Dominican Republic once, so it's very close. Mexico, man, amazing country. XTN will be resolved. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, XTN will be resolved before turning off inflation. Sure. So in my opinion, what would be the perfect scenario? We launch units spectacularly, you know, like fireworks. Everybody's happy. After that, we vote for 23. We get a lot of waves at a higher price into the treasury of the DAO. A lot of waves goes to extend buyback, and this buyback becomes like visible, tangible, because a lot of like it's like the volume of the buyback will be increased tenfold, like that. And you will see it, you will see the price action for extend immediately. So it's going to be quite easy to buy it back, you know, like a realistic time frame. And this thing is on for half a year. After that, the inflation is turned off for good. Like there is probably a lot, something like 150 million waves, and this number will remain the same for decades and centuries to come. What is the current estimated launch date for N0? Mid-September. Mid-September. But they will never resolve XTN. They're trying to wait it out. You got me, dude. You are so smart. 15 days since last AMA. What's the news? Bridges are launched. The most important thing, development for Unit 0 is almost over. And I will announce a couple of things at the end of this AMA. When Waves Gateway back online? Which one? Which was the Zilli word? Bridges. El Salvador has a government support program for crypto projects. I think it's mostly Bitcoin. The guy loves Bitcoin. I can understand him, actually. Bitcoin is a good speculative investment. But as far as I understand, he doesn't care much for DeFi, for example, or for any other crypto, only Bitcoin. El Salvador is interesting, but I wouldn't go there. As the first country in Latin America, it's a bit like it's a bit too much. But it's really hard to say whether the guy is right or not because he put half of the country, he threw like half of the country in jail, more or less. But they had crazy crime there. So it's like it's a really fine line. You have to be on the ground to understand the situation. Yeah, but I saw his interview with Tucker Carlson, and he seems to be a reasonable guy, by the way. Yeah, not Tucker Carlson. That guy is not reasonable. Uh, on units, node miners will only get the sidechain tokens as rewards. Yes, but there can be like multiple chains. So the idea is to like introduce this new narrative APY for miners. So if you support like multiple chains, you might have like several servers. You don't have to have like single server. You may have like multiple servers. And in this case, you can support like 10 chains and you can earn the tokens from all those chains. And basically create, for example, like each APY is like 10%. You support 10 chains. You get 100% APY from basically waves, because you will need to have waves for this. You will have to be waves validator to mine the tokens from all those connected chains. You should run for presidency in Ukraine. Man, I like I don't believe in current political structures at all. Like I would never run for any office because the structure sucks. We need to create world DAO based on power protocol. Uh, Galka is asking, will L2MP contract be updated before launch? Yeah, it will be. Maybe even next week. Yeah, it's time to define a clear launch roadmap because we are done with development. Marketing is kind of like all over the place, unfortunately, due to many reasons. But it's all coming together. Um, Give me a couple more questions, guys. So maybe I will tell you about a couple more things next week. Basically, two things. There's going to be a listing for WX on a centralized exchange. And I think WX is going to be back. And this will basically mark the beginning of this getting back on track thing. So WX is going to be listed on a centralized exchange next week. And there's going to be a rebirth of Pete with new mechanics and new website. Two things next week. WX is on centralized exchange, and Pete is gonna be reborn. Spring is coming, absolutely. When is the official launch of units? Mid-September is the plan. It might move a bit farther in time, but in September we will launch because the goal is to launch it faster. And then this launch may be not as spectacular as it could be if we did it like, I don't know, later, but the goal is to have some launches within the ecosystem, and maybe we can shift our marketing efforts from unit zero launch to the launches that will come after, and this is one thing in essence, so we're launching unit zero and we're launching the whole ecosystem. So the launches that will come after unit zero launch are important just as well. And we want to launch unit zero fast to enable those further launches. Up-temper. Extend to $1. Absolutely. Puzzle, ask Vladimir, he's here. Yes. Where do the fees for Waves transaction go to? What do you mean? You mean to the validators, yeah, to the miners, of course. Yes. So they will eventually, if we turn off the inflation, eventually, we still have the fees. And you understand that probably in perfect world, validators have to earn fees only fees, because there has to be enough fees. There has to be many transactions, and you get a lot of fees from those transactions. And inflation is not needed anymore, because you can do without inflation. Because if you have and actually some chains are doing this at the moment, so for example, Solana is doing fine in terms of transaction fees. Okay, you can tell that it's because of memes. Okay, this is true, but they're making $500,000 per day in terms of fees, I think, which is something tangible, I would say. So yeah, eventually only fees. What to do with Waves DLP from nodes? You can either sell it or wait for the settlement in the Waves DAO. The previous settlement was not spectacular by any means, but I think the next one should be much better. Any other utility for power? Man, just wait. So I'm focusing on units now, but I'm starting with power as well. We are preparing some stuff. I can tell you what we are preparing. There's going to be some kind of upgrade to the protocol itself. I think I will do a new white paper. In terms of technical development, there is a new Telegram wallet for Waves, which a team from the community is developing right now, and they're doing great, by the way. So there's going to be an integration with Power Protocol on Telegram. And after that, we will start a campaign for Power. I'm thinking about the right approach here, but most probably we will just push Mother DAO heavily, so. And it's a very simple idea, by the way, guys, because the goal of Mother DAO, if you look closely in Power Protocol, is to grow the value of Power token. So you have participants of the DAO, you have the treasury, they buy Power token, the funds go to the treasury, and they make some governance decisions that are meant to increase the value of Power token. So basically, you have a DAO, you have a group of people with one goal, to increase the value of a token they all hold. I think it's a very simple idea that people will understand. So we just leaving alone those highbrow things about governance and those complicated stuff, which actually is the essence of the protocol. We can just market this approach that, guys, you are here to grow the value of this token. You make some decisions, for example, you do some treasury swaps, you with some tokens that are potentially about to go up, you decide on what to do with the treasury funds, where to invest them. And basically, when you make profit, those profits are channeled into buying back Power token, which increases its price. It's a very simple idea. We, as a community, are here to take Power token to the moon. And I think this idea should work. So we will prepare everything technically, and once units has been launched, I will focus on this. Make waves great. Not again, just great, you know, just great. Because great again is bullshit. Nothing has ever been great. Will each of the side chain must have a DAO? It might. If they want to have their own separate DAO, they might launch one. But the launches of those chains are being governed by the main DAO. So if you want to have your chain launched, you have to make a proposal in the ecosystem DAO. And then you can launch your own DAO. But your chain should be launched and can be launched only through the main DAO voting. Can you define what an audit is and how a buyback can be an audit? Oh man, you have been here before. Yeah, you have been here. You just have a new name. Much love. Message retracted. What did you retract? Bring it back. Nobody reacted to my two beautiful announcements, so I will repeat. Next week, WX gets listed on a centralized exchange, and PET will be relaunched. Will the Power token price go higher? No, I can give you financial advice, man. But the goal is to increase the value of Power token because it should be valuable. No, so there is like two sides of this. I just explained more like public side, you know. So we create a DAO, we create a community, a collective of people whose goal is to grow the value of Power token. This is like public facing message, and a bit more sophisticated, a bit more like, I would say, elitist message is Power should be a utility token for governance. You know, in not only in this main DAO where the goal is to grow the value, but in all connected DAOs. So basically how it works, people have to stake Power tokens and they have to vote with it, with their staked power. And there is this like process of slashing and rewarding. So if those DAOs meet the KPIs that are set at their launch, participants, decision makers who make those good decisions are rewarded. If those KPIs are not met, those decision makers are punished or slashed. So Power token becomes a governance instrument, you know, and for that it has to have value, you know. So there is like two sides to this. And if Power protocol is successful as a governance protocol, it will mean that Power token price will be very high. Exactly. Vladimir launched Roam Keeper. And this is important because you have this problem with stable coins, with algorithmic stable coins, and also backed stable coin, that their price can just like move from the peg and it doesn't mean that they're broken. It's some kind of like market volatility effect. And also, for example, you can redeem that stablecoin into $1 through some process of like smart contract redemption, or through like receiving a bank transfer from Tether, but it takes time, and it's not instant. So it means that potentially the price can like move away from $1. And there has to be some kind of mechanism, some kind of mechanic that brings that price back like fast. And what Vladimir did, he launched a smart contract that basically takes the price back to $1. And through this, it mitigates those like market fluctuations. It would be good to get a sample of what the sidechain proposal might look like. Yeah, I think I will do one, but it's basically very simple. So for example, you have a token, you're saying, guys, so support my project. I have like a GameFi project. So I allocate 5% of the token supply to the validators, and also 1% of the token supply to the DAO participants, if you vote for me. And there's some vesting schedule for both. For example, you're saying that, okay, guys, you will have 5% of my token if you support my chain for 2 years. And validators receive that token in batches every day. The same applies to the DAO. Basically, they get like 1%, and probably it's vested, so they don't get it in one shot. They get it in a smart contract, but they can claim it daily. What exchange is DoubleX launching on? You will see, man. Yeah, guess. Take a guess. Hi guys, hi Carlos. I have lost 15K with USDN and the exchange. Sorry for your loss, man. We are working to make you whole, and we'll make it up to you. We'll do our best. Ask me something else, or otherwise I'll be wrapping this up slowly. Okay, yes. Okay, guys. I have some news. Yeah. Oh, interesting. They haven't been processed. Send it to me. Yeah, okay, I will ask, sure. Okay, guys, so I think that's it for now. Summary of what I told you during the email. Next week, WX launches on a centralized exchange token. Pete, new website. And what's gonna happen next? I think Pete will be launched on some exchanges as well. Bridges have been launched. Maybe you'll help us test them out next week. In our questing platform. Otherwise, guys, everything is on track. We are moving towards the unit's launch. A lot of activities, new partnerships, and new people are coming to the ecosystem. This is the best moment when you do blockchain projects, when new people come to the ecosystem. And this is the moment we are experiencing right now. This is just the very beginning of this moment. But it's really nice to see things growing and gaining traction and picking up steam. So this is what is happening right now. It's a beautiful moment. I hope we will stay on track with your support and with your passion, even if you have some negative feelings about us, which is actually understandable. It still helps us, it still propels us forward. So thank you very much. I love you. Until next week, Units is coming, power to the people, and ride on waves.